Good day, folks. Welcome back to my neck of the woods. My name is Dika, where I share my experience and my knowledge, hoping to lessen your learning curve. So today I have a product review on a spinning reel. This is not a new spinning reel, but I was searching on Facebook Marketplace. I came across one brand new for $40. It retails for $80, and I picked it up and I thought it was a perfect time to do a review on it. All right. So before I get started, please sub the channel, like my videos, and make some comments. I love the comments. All right. So without further ado, this is the Shimano Sedona. This is a spinning reel geared for both freshwater and saltwater. This is the 2500 model. I have been looking for a 25 or a 3000 model for my finesse setup. Freshwater, like any type of Ned rigs or shaky heads or things of that nature, small minnows, whatnot. I've been looking for. I was going to buy another one of these, but I was just out looking for one for the most part, you know. So the Shimano Sedona, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, it's a high quality reel for I would call it a budget price. It's $80 off the website. You can get it less than that for in other areas or places, whatnot. But it's a tank of a reel, and it's absolutely phenomenal for what you pay for. I have two Sedonas. They are older models, and they just last forever. I mean, Shimano's a good name across the board, don't get me wrong, but it's just a quality reel. So I'm going to go through some of the specs, and this reel has been updated in 2023. I'll tell you what they did new about it, and my overall thoughts and what I use it for, and how it's just a great reel. I recommend it to absolutely anyone. All right, so some specs. So this is the high gear ratio. It's the FJ, Shimano FJ. It ranges from a 500 series, you can do ultralight, all the way up to a 5000 series where you can be surf casting on the beach for striped bass and blues or any other things. This is the 6:2-to-1 gear ratio. The other gear ratio this is straight FJ. I believe it's 5:1-to-1. It boasts a phenomenal drag. It's 20-pound drag on a 2500 size reel. That's great. Now, do I need that much? I don't need that much, but the Sedona has probably one of the smoothest drags that I've ever dealt with, ever. I used to use one for surf casting. I moved on to a Tsunami Saltex, which I absolutely love. I like it because it's a sealed reel, and I'm kind of tough on the reels anyway. These are resistant, don't get me wrong. They do well. This has 3+1 ball bearings, and so one of the bearings is just inside. I believe it's the handle. I believe it's inside the handle. But the other three are geared inside here, and they're sort of nominated, or their claim to fame is that they help with corrosion. So if anything gets inside there, it helps with corrosion and helps prevent that. The proof is in the pudding, and I have not had any problems with my other Sedonas, and that's not an update. That's something that they've always had. They've always 3+1 ball bearings. It gets 36 inches per turn on the 2500, and like I said, it's $80. As you can see, it is not braid ready, which I'm surprised. They did a bunch of updates to it, which I'm going to tell you, but they didn't do braid ready. So there's more and more of us as anglers, especially for like finesse gear and stuff like that, we use braid. So I'm disappointed in that, but for the most part, it's a phenomenal reel. You really can't go wrong. There's nothing wrong with backing it like we've always done. All right, so like I said, it lasts forever. It's an absolute tank, and there are some 2023 updates. Obviously, it's 25 now. One is this sleek, sexy, more aluminum metal feel to it. It has less of a plastic feel to it. Not that it ever was plastic, but it had that plasticky feel to it. They've done away with some of the gold, or the brass. The spool used to be brass, and the handle was a gold and a brass. This comes in at 8.5 ounces. That's pretty light. And how they've done that is like every other manufacturer. They've cut out some pieces here. So they cut out there, they cut out in the handle, they cut out here. I think they've made some like sort of areas here in the spool, and you haven't lost any structure or I don't know, strength to the reel at all. They've just moved it out to make it lighter. All right. So some of the updates. So it has I wrote it down, the Hagana gears, which are on the Stella. Which, if you haven't heard of the Stella, you need to look it up because it's probably one of the best reels available in the world. So outside of the Van style, but the Stella's pretty damn good. Anyway, so I wrote it down up here. Hagana gears, so they're cold forged, silky smooth. That's what they say. This reel is probably one of the smoothest reels that I've ever dealt with. The Sedona in general, even my older Sedonas, they were very, very smooth, and it has one of the smoothest drags that I've ever dealt with. It's a clicking drag. We like to hear that sound when the drag is being pulled out. And I don't know if you know this, but a smooth drag is very, very important. One, for the longevity of the reel and for maintaining that fish. So there's a reason we have a drag. You don't want to tighten that down and muscle the fish in all the time. Sometimes you have to fight it a little bit. And especially if you're using light line, that smooth drags is going to hold that tension on that fish, and you're going to be able to get that fish in, tire it out a little bit and get it in, especially on those bigger fish, which leads me to the 20-pound drag. I'm going to be using this for my finesse setup. I'm going to put it on a 7'2" medium light rod, and I'll probably do a review on that whole setup at some point in time. And having 20 pounds of drag is just, I don't think it's overkill. I just think that, in the finesse setups, every once in a while, you really get those monster fish, bass, talking about, or even pickerel, whatnot, that's really going to help you out when you're getting those fish in, especially with that lighter line. It's really good. All right, so it has the Hagana gears, which are on the Stella, and it claims the silky smooth drag, which it is. It like I said, this is even smoother than my other Sedonas, which I take care of, and they're going to last forever. I just got the other one that I had on my medium light setup. My finesse setup was a Bass Pro Johnny Morris series, and I just sold it on Marketplace, and I've been looking for another one, and this happened to fall on my lap on almost on the same day that I put it on Marketplace. So it's good. $40 for a Shimano Sedona, can't beat it. It's really, really good. I'm really excited about it. It has a solid bail. It doesn't have like an air bail like some of the Daiwas have or something like that. It's still got a solid bail, but it's got a nice firm click to it. I really like that. It doesn't have the assist when you reel into it, which I don't know if you know this, that causes wear and tear on the drag and the reel and the spool. So if you say you have one of those bails that when you reel it clicks back into it, you shouldn't do that. I know it does that, and that feature became available, but that puts all types of wear and tear on the bail, the spool, the reel, and it's bad for the reel's health. Food for thought. Anyway, my little thing. So smooth drag. Like I said, they made it lighter and the silent drive, and they did two other things. One, I think, is absolutely genius. Sometimes it's the little things that are genius. And there's another thing that helps. So have you ever put in a reel on a rod? You got I love this reel or whatever, and you put it on a rod, and it just doesn't feel right, or it doesn't work good. It's because it's not balanced with the rod for the most part. So they've taken this and they've made the center of gravity of this reel, they made it closer to the center and closer to the rod. So, I'll put my finger right in here, and it balances. It balances right there. So they've moved the center of gravity. a lot of reels, the center of gravity is where the weight is, which is here, so it'll be pulling it back a little bit. And they've just managed to move it all forward just a little bit, which is going to balance with a rod more often than not, so to speak. And also, this is what I think is absolutely genius. They added this lip. See how that's has an angle right there? Most other reels, it's straight right there, but this helps with casting. So when that line comes off, it comes off so much easier with this tiny little lip there. I'm talking about this brass piece right here. You see how that's at an angle as opposed to just rigid and coming out. That's genius. I mean, it casts absolutely a mile. You don't have to put, when you mix it with your reel, like sometimes you take a reel and you mix it with a rod and it doesn't cast as good as you think. Usually it's the reel. Sometimes it's the rod, or it doesn't match up with it. You need a different length, or you need a different stiffness, or you need a different tip or whatnot. The people who have gone through this, they know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you need a good reel for a good rod, and they have to be matched together for whatever reason, Anyway, I'm going too far into it. But this little lip here, I really like it. I'm eager to see how it's going to cast. I know it's going to cast better. It's really good. But it's a sexy reel. Lasts forever. Highly recommend it. I don't know. Go buy one, I guess. That's all I have to say. But that's all I have for you for my review on the Sedona. And my final thought on it is, you really get, at the price point, it's an $80 reel, you really get a lot more than what you pay for. You really do. Since they've added the same gears and sort of drag system that they have in the Stella in 2023, I mean, you really can't beat it. It's got a great drag. It really has everything. It's the best of every world for the most part. Now they've made it lighter. They've balanced it. I mean, they took a veteran of a reel and they just made it better. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that, they don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it, but they just really made it better. A lot better, in my opinion. But phenomenal reel. Go buy one. Talk to you guys later. Be well.